Today I'm going to show you how to pattern out a set of seats so you can sew up a new set using the existing pattern. So these are in really good shape, so what we'll do is we'll sew up all new leather seats to fit on these seat covers. So this is how I usually go ahead and do it. So you want to mark every connecting point between the panel. So I'll draw a line across it, connect in about 3 different places. Sometimes I'll put 2 marks on it, that way you'll know which side is one side, which is the other. So everywhere that connects to something, you'll draw lines across. Like over here, you can just put 1 and 1. Come over here and just do 1, 2, 3, 4. That way when you go to find your pieces and they're laying around, you can tell which ones line up with which ones. So you got these lines here, same thing. You got them on the outside. So you'll line these up. This one connects to there. So you'll line them up. Same with over here, so I'll put 2 lines on this one and the one there. This one here. You got this one here. So you got them lined up. You flip it over, do your back side. And you got that all lined up. And then check all your lines. You got this one down here. And then you've got the sides of this one. This one here. And down here. Okay, what I'm doing now is on all the connecting points that I got, I'm putting a number down on it. So you can see panel 3 to 3, 8 to 8, 6 to 6, 2 to 2, 5 to 5. See how I got it all set up? That way when you got it all cut out and you line up all the lines with your leather, you'll know, you don't just have this. You have 2 of these and you'll have the bottom, and there'll be a bunch of pieces laying around, so that way you'll know which ones to grab to sew together. So that's how we do it. Okay, now the time-consuming part. This is where we got to cut every one of these pieces apart. So with a razor blade, you tug on it and you pull, and you got to sit there, and what you do is you just keep dragging it down and cut the threads. And that's how you start to strip the seat apart. And sometimes at the end they got it doubled and triple stitches to lock it down, so you got to take your time not to mess up your pattern that way. And there's one cut, and then you just start cutting everything all apart. So we'll start on the back side here, and never put your finger in line with the razor blade. So you can go up under this edge, put a little bit of a pull to it till you get to that thread. Which we're finding because they got a double stitch that makes it harder. Okay, so once you get your stitch start, there we go. Got a little bit of leftover piece there. Okay, so hold it down with anything you got. Put a nice little tug on it. As you're doing it, you just pull on the razor blade.
Cody, you want to say hi? You panting so much. Say hi, YouTube. This is Sissy. She's doing good.
And you just spend your time going around the whole thing, pulling on it and cutting threads. And see how easy it works. It's just time consuming, but you got to do it. One of the many steps. Get over to the other side away from the razor blade. And here we go. Once your razor blade starts getting dull, which it doesn't take long, There's a piece separated. So see, with that separated, we can still see where it gets stitched to and lined up, what panel goes next to it. So now we can throw these anywhere we want, and we'll template them out in leather, and we just gotta cut the rest of this apart now. We're back at cutting more of the parts apart. We're getting down there. So we'll show you how we cut most of them apart, and then I'll show you how we'll template them out and lay them out on a piece of leather. That's where your split is, so now you gotta go both directions. Okay, there we have another piece coming off. Okay, there's another one. See how we can lay it out nice and flat, and cut a piece of leather out to fit it.
Let's just see. We don't usually film inside, guys, but it's late tonight and there's a lot more light in the house. It's cooler in here.
It's air conditioned.
Air conditioning.
Yeah. We conform down the environment.
And this is a pretty fabulous environment, if you ask me.
Okay, we're still pulling them apart. Still running on the same razor blade. There we go. Okay, we're getting down there. Here we go. There's another piece for a template. Couple left. I'm just patterning this out tonight. We're gonna try to lay out our leather, and I'm gonna try to take it into work tomorrow and use the sewing machines at work to sew this up. I have a sewing machine in the back room, but I haven't used it in a while, so I'm just gonna use the same one I use all the time. So I'll try to get some videos of it if I can. If not, I'll just get you a good bunch of videos after we get it done.
Yep, like we usually do.
Yep.
Here's what we did.
Yep.
Like, we don't want to do like an hour-long video of him just ripping up a thing.
No.
So we're just giving you guys the gist of what he's doing. We'll show you the other parts in a minute.
First thing you gotta do before you pattern things out is you gotta inspect the leather. The leather can have scratches on it and imperfections, little pinholes. So you really gotta get down and look over it really good. Make sure there's nothing wrong. And this one has a really nice clean leather, so we're gonna go ahead and flip it over and start our pattern then. Now to pattern out, what you do is you just gotta fit all these pieces on this face down and trace them, draw them, and cut them out. This is the way we got our leather laid out. So we got our back cushion all right over here, and this is our front cushion. So we got enough here to flip it upside down and do our left cushion. Our right and our left are identically the same, so we're only cutting out one template. We're just gonna make sure we flip it upside down and do the opposite. So now we trace out each one of these and we cut them out. We fit the whole back seat section. We got it all drawn out. We got to cut it out tomorrow. I'm going to take it to work and cut it out and start to sew it up. So we got both front seats and the tops, and this is the bottom, all fit out of one hide. So it worked out good. Getting ready to sew up my seats. had a couple of slow days last week, so I got to go into work and sew these other seats up for the panel truck. So we're getting ready to install them. You can see by the sloppy workmanship that I handmade these. I haven't even cut all my threads off, that when I was sewing it, I still had to go by and clean up all my stitch work. But you can see this wasn't something that was ordered online. This was handmade. So I spent, I think I got 6 hours in all the seats sewing them up, cutting them out and powering them up one at a time. So we had to go ahead and put them on. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and all bring these seats on. I usually start from the center section because you can't get to these afterwards. So what you gotta do is you make sure everything's square in here where you want it. So you lay it down in place and line it up, center it, and square it. And then hold it there. And then you'll run it, come over. And they got wires that are buried in the foam. You can see it in there probably. And you'll wanna take your hog ring and go around the wire and clamp it like that. And then we'll go down the whole length of this. We'll put about 4 of them in. Okay, you can see we got our 4 hog rings in here. It's got them spaced apart. And you can see how it pulls the line down. See how it pulls the line down? Now we'll do the front. I usually start from the center. Make sure your lines are square on your edge and you got it lined up where you want in the groove like that. And see, we got it centered good. And then put your hog rings in. The more you put, the better. Only because it keeps it from looking like humps. If you just got a couple of them in there, you'll actually see where the hog rings are pulled down here. So you put a couple of them in there. Empty. Go the other direction. And one more. Okay, now we got our front down. That'll hold it in place when it gets pulled back and forward now. We got it all hog ring down in, so you can see how this is all sunken in now, tight from the hog rings on both sides. Now we're gonna go ahead and flip it over and pull our edges forward and hook them. We gotta go ahead and pull out our bolts for brackets here, mounting brackets, because the vinyl will slide underneath of it. So you see how this edge is, and it'll hook on this edge there. I went ahead and put the factory pieces of plastic back on, just so we could put it on like the original design. This will snap on there. Like that. And that'll lock on there. We'll go to our next one. See how it matched on there nice. And we gotta take our other bolt off this side. Actually, yeah. It must have came out without removing this side. Okay, see how nice that went on there? Now, how do you like that? I didn't know what the hell happened on this. So I went ahead and sewed me extra material because I wasn't sure. I didn't have an edge or nothing like that. Evidently it's just hog rings to this. So now I just got extra material to hog ring it around it. Anywhere I need to attach it. That was one of the last minute things that, why isn't there an edge on the bottom of that? So I'll put one there. Okay, we're hoggering it on the back now. This is the last parts we got to do on the seat, and we'll have it all put on. So we put all these edges back on it just so we could hog ring it back on just like the factory original people did. They had carpet back here. I switched it and put vinyl there. Sorry I haven't gotten all the video of the building of everything. I get pretty busy and sometimes she's not around with the camera.
Don't blame
The
me.
next thing you know, something's done. So I'm going to go ahead and put this last cushion
Oh my God,
on
he
since
threw
she's
me
here
on
to-
the bus.
Yes,
He threw me under the bus.
It. So,
Fuck.
yeah.
Go ahead, I'm filming you now. I
Yeah,
stepped away for a split second, literally, guys. He works so fucking fast.
These are easier ones to put on because they Velcro
Look
down
at
in
his
the low
smug
spots
face.
here.
Look at his smug face.
So I can just pretty much pull it down over it.
Little shit.
Work your way down like normal, but you gotta watch when you get to this part. Okay. I usually turn it, I fold it inside out. It's a little tighter and harder to put on, but that way you don't damage anything as you're pulling it down. You'll work it from side to side. Turn this side inside out. Making our way down. Here we go. And stretch it nice and tight over that. You can unroll it. There you go. Leather's pretty durable, so you don't have to worry about hurting it. And pull it down. Make sure you get centered side to side with your seams. And you want to level off the top of it. Okay, we're a little crooked, huh? Just kidding. Yeah, go ahead and square everything before you stick it. So, we go ahead and get our arm up underneath of it and find our Velcro. And stick it down so we got a good line.
Talk loud.
And then we'll do it to the other side.
We're by the fan.
Yeah. And your Velcro should stick right. You can pound it down to get a good hook and get our lines level. So you want to make sure your lines are always even. So you pull it down and you'll stick your Velcro in your side. And that'll lock it down. And come over and do this side. Then you'll want to take this thing here. And I use it since it's plastic. I'll fold it over once under. That way when I'm sliding it back there, only the leather's touching. And you can't scratch any of your leather when you put it up underneath there. And then you go around the back and you hook it to the other piece. So what you have is you have this piece of plastic sewed on here. And here's another one. And you flip this around backwards and it catches under the hook of this one. And that's what holds the back in place. So it's not always fun to do, but it has to be done. So I'm pulling on it nice and tight.
Throw your hands in the way.
Fold that upward. Now this has to be pulled and hooked under it. And it's not always fun, but some things you just wrestle with. But this one I think we're going fine. started to tuck. You can see it's already starting to grip. And we're finishing up the other side. Almost got it. Oh, it came out. So that happens. Okay, so we gotta do this differently. So you can stop the video. We're done recording.
Just for reference, he angled the seat forward so he has easier access. Behind the scenes extra. Much better.
Okay, let's see if we can do this again. So we'll pull this out nice and tight. Pulls down on the seat. And now we have to flip this thing upside down, and now we're going to try to hook it in its groove without it popping out on us like I did last time. And that time we got it. See how it locks it in place? So we just got to go around, trim up all our excess threads. And we got to cut our hole out here where the armrests go. Cut these out. That's where my sticks work. Don't need them excess threads.
Nope.
Oh, look, this one popped off. We didn't have it in all the way.
Move the seat forward.
We're doing the same, so I'm not sure if we need to. We might need to tilt these seats just forward, like straight up, like we were taking furniture inside the house. So, okay, don't try to tear the whole load. Just wait till I get it past forward.
I got the cardboard. I'm trying to film at the same time. Just a quick peek while we're on break. Come inside the panel truck.
I think
It's looking
Look
sick.
at the top right.
no.
It's supposed to be hidden.
Okay, so with all the hurricanes that we got going on, Chris's work slowed down at the shop, so he took the seats in for the panel truck and got them all sewed up. They put them in here today, made sure that it's at the right height for Dad. So I wanted to give you guys a quick peek of what it looks like. Everything's matching incredibly. Next week we'll be working on the door panels and the carpet. Thanks for watching, guys.